Recently, the F2 2023 cars were added to the F1 game this week, and earlier in the week there was a vote on whether or not they should be run, and it was, I believe, 11-1 in terms of the vote itself on whether or not the F2 2023 cars should be implemented now or next season. And here we are now with the F2 2023 cars. I'm your commentator, Ryan Ocon31, and I'm by myself for F2 today. It is good to have you all join us for some F2 racing in RPL. It's not the best on attendance, but we will have a race that goes forward, which is the good part. We'll figure out for F2 what happens in future weeks in terms of this attendance because it is not looking pretty. However, let's go on to some stuff that is looking a bit more prettier. The Drivers' Championship, the Constructors' Championship. You know, you will see some team names changed. Carlin is now Rodin Carlin. Searles is now PHM Racing. And that's really about it as for the only changes besides liveries. As for the standings, we do need to go over that and explain to you all what things look like. Ads has a 1-point lead over Bourbon. Beatnik is 20 points behind. Mythic is 46 points behind. Mythic doesn't have the most realistic chance, but the thing that's interesting about Mythic is he's only just barely outside of a race behind. Annex as well is also right there too. Annex is 51 points back. And the truck. Whoa, that was a whole lot of gibberish. The constructor standings, you have MP Motorsports leading Carlin over 24 points, ART 29 back, VAR, Venomous for Racing 47 back, and then the rest of the teams have had a podium besides Virtuosi this season, but are more than a race back in the points. So a lot on our hands for F2. We have Wavy, who does not have to serve a qualifying ban anymore for F2 RPL, which is very nice, because he was serving it due to previous incidents that he was involved in the past. And this was also a behavior thing as well, for why he was serving qualifying bans. Also, another thing as well is Blue Goggy, speaking of bans, he has an event ban for this weekend due to penalty points. Also as well, you have Jordan's return, Zakaria making his second start of the season. Usually not an F2 member. And Season 16, Round 5, was our last Silverstone F2 race. And one other thing, Crispy left the league after last week, meaning, again, another person short on attendance for this week for F2. Alright, here we go. Here we go. It is time to bring the action once again for RPL F2. Yeah, the thing I was going to mention is the attendance has definitely been low. And in terms of streams for F2, I mean, there are people who watch it back. It's nice to have on the YouTube, but at the same time, everyone knows there's no highlights for it. There's only the one from Qatar that was released, and that was it. And then, as well, I meant to mention, obviously, with the reduced field, for me, I think of the fact that, you know, it's just not lack of recruitment, but more recruitment needed in order to get F2 going the way it is. We have the drivers. The drivers don't always show up, though. So, you need committed drivers completely as well. And there's only one person who watches the stream live half the time anyway for F2. So if we don't have a mainstream, it's not the end of the world for F2. It's more so F1 Tier 1 and F1 Tier 2. Alright, time to bring the action. Qualifying about to be underway. Your all-time pole leader in terms of the F1 23 game cycle is Scyther. He returns to the grid today for the second time this season. Annex is also back as well. Both have missed multiple races. So here we go. Now it is time. New liveries on board. Drivers as well are returning to the grid. There are tons of things we will have to look out for. New liveries. But we'll go on board with Valkyrie, who returns as well. She has not been racing F2 the last couple of weeks. And it's good to have her. Beatnik as well, out of the session, so he's had a misfunction in terms of his lap. He's going to start at the back of the grid. Remember, he didn't have a qualifying ban or anything, so he's starting back there purely on what's happened to him. Look at last week in Portugal. Wrong strategy, wrecked by Blue Goggy. 20 points he's behind in the championship due to all that. Think of where he'd be without that. So now we head to the S section. Maggots and Beckett's. Jordan, his RPL return, is faring well so far in qualifying, but Annex is ahead of him. As we come to the sector split, it's a 12-2. So far this season, when we look at our pole sitters, we have had quite a few different ones, only one repeat one. Griffith's our only repeat pole sitter. Borbin on pole, Beatnik on pole, Crispy on pole. Campos with 2, MP at 1. Carlin at 1, and Dams at 1. And MP is about to add their name with a second pole position. However, it's between the two teammates, Borbin, Annex. Borbin gets the pole position over Annex. A 10th, he is ahead of Annex. And MP Motorsport, second pole of the season. Borbin, his second pole of the season. And now the championship has changed drastically with that pole position. Very, very crucial for Borbin to be on pole. Also, the first time Wavy gets to qualify in F2 this season. He's 8 tenths back, a fair showing from him. He is 7th. Jordan as well was running good and well for pole position there. He's P3. So here's our qualifying lineup. Beatnik says he spun in turn 3. That is exactly why his qualifying session ended early. So Borbin, Annex make it an MP 1-2. We've had a couple 1-2s in terms of finishes recently. However, qualifying has not been the case in terms of teams. Then you have Jordan, Mythic, Scyther, Valkyrie, Wavy, Titan, and then your front row for the sprint race, which is coming up, is Alex, Bear, and Beatnik. So brand new 2023 cars. So we'll see what happens. Beatnik has sacrificed himself for the sake of the sprint race to gain some points. However, it's going to matter when it comes to the feature race. He's going to have to get everything he can. We don't really have many things in strategy, but we don't have to have pit stops during the sprint race. If drivers choose to pit, they can. If they do pit, it likely comes under a virtual safety car or a safety car. Again, the F2 changes as well would also include the safety car going to standard. Here we go. Here come the 5 red lights for the sprint race at Silverstone. And it's home for most of the drivers where they go lights out and away we go. Beatnik off the line very well in his Red Bull livery car. He's got Alex Barrett out inside of him. Side by side at turn 1. Alex Barrett ahead at turn 1. However, Beatnik is not going to come down without a fight. Side by side here at turn 2 and into turn 3 they go. Wheel to wheel once more. Everyone keeping it clean there at the start. A couple of drivers sliding and Beatnik hopping onto the curb, almost pushing Alex Barrett wide. But they are 2 by 2 for the top 4 spots, and 2 of them are teammates. Titan ahead of Valkyrie. Valkyrie losing a place. Now Scyther ahead of Valkyrie. So now, side by side for the lead. Alex Bear down the inside. Alex Bear in his F2 debut is through, but Beatnik collides with them. And somehow, Alex Bear keeps it straight and going in the right direction. Now Titan goes up to second place, claims that spot. Scyther trying to claim third place, and Alex Bear while under pressure from Valkyrie for fourth place. And everybody keeping it clean as they head to Cop's corner. You have in the background Zakaria and Jordan battling it out. Jordan has now been spun around, so he's the first driver to get into some issue at the start of this race. And now Wavy gets out of Mythic. Wavy and Mythic side by side here for P6. Wavy gets overtaken. Mythic back ahead, and in front of that, it gets a little dicey. You can see Valkyrie now almost outside the points, and now is outside the points. Remember, the top 8 score points in the sprint race, so she is doomed at this stage of the race. Alex Bear sent one, is through on Titan. Very, very neat move right there. Wavy as well, also through an Annex. However, slides the car out of the exit of the corner. Off the track goes Alex Bear, but Wavy loses a place in the process. Alex Bear about to be overtaken by Scyther. They're side by side right here. Whoa! Almost up in the air right there from Alex Bear. And he slid going in the runoff, used a ton of curbing. Now, trying to get the exit speed on Mythic to try to gain the spot. And as we stand with Ads and Bourbon in the championship, remember, Ads is not here today. Bourbon is. So Bourbon right now at the championship lead. And we've got more yellow flags. That is RPL Zakaria in the tail Porsche livery. Now Wavy battles Valkyrie. Wavy trying to get through on the female driver. Can't get through for the final point spot. Gonna have to try to work her around a little bit more. And now Bourbon gets the exit speed in the teammate. Here comes Bourbon. Gonna fight this with Annex. Not gonna give it up. Also, Beatnik as well, who had a poor qualifying, able to very much take advantage here in the sprint race, already pulling out to almost a 2-second lead. Got action happening throughout the whole field. Maggots and Beckett's, and now coming to Sector 3. Oh, a little malfunction from Mythic. He falls down the order. And now Alex Bear heating up Scyther for the podium place. Remember, DRS not enabled just yet. Will be enabled the next time. And now Mythic giving Valkyrie tons of pressure here for the position. Mythic wants to go through. And this train with Scyther in front, surprisingly, funny enough, is actually holding up the train. And interestingly enough, Titan Ironwolf is looking for a first podium since Spain once again. Since last season. He would break a 1-season podium drought. Last time he broke a 9-season podium drought. And he's actually doing really well to hold on to this Titan, as he's got a second gap, almost a 2-second gap over Scyther. Now Annex down the inside, diving for it, and needs the points on his other rivals to gain some positions in the championship and have a fight. But it all starts getting by Alex Bear first and holding off Bourbon, your championship leader at this current stage of this race. Beatnik extending the gap over Titan. Titan barely extending the gap over Scyther. So, interestingly enough, everything remains the way it is, and Wavy overtakes FPL, who runs off the track. Here is Bourbon and Annex. 2 different liveries, teammates, same car. Everybody on the hard tires to start this race. Up 4 for Bourbon, up 4 for Annex, up 3 for Scyther, up 1 for Titan, up 2 for FBL. Wavy as well, not really a great start, losing 5 spots. And you can now see the DRS enabled, so rear wing giving the assistance to these drivers, and Annex defending magnificently on Bourbon. However, Bourbon switcheroo outside line, can't pull it. Annex had a little bit of oversteer as well there coming out of the corner, so a little issue there. Leads Bourbon to make the move, and now inside line here toward the final corner, can't get the traction off, and now it is Annex still remaining in P5 over the teammate. And you can see Scyther's closed that gap on Titan, but has a DRS train following hungry behind. Beatnik as well has gained out to a big lead over Titan. Beatnik as well, one of the drivers who have not won a race this season in F2. F2 becoming very competitive in that sense in terms of our winners. Last season we had 27 different podium sitters. This season we've had 14. 24 different drivers have scored points, so even with the limited field compared to last season, tons of drivers making full advantage of their opportunities. And now the DRS train once again continues. It's now back to 6th. And Valkyrie and Mythic are trying to get themselves involved with their names there up for the last point spots. And now it's Scyther as well, a 1.3 second gap from Titan, so lost a 10th right there, while Titan gained 2 tenths on Beatnik. So it's all a matter of inches in terms of what you've gained and what you haven't gained. I think everything is basically remained the same way it is. But Burger King boys leading this race. Can we say it? Can we say the BK intro, but Beatnik style? Beatnik, have it your way. Well, he's rolling it in front of the field. He's got the race lead. And now, speaking of having positions, Scyther has it for now. Alex Bear wants it. Alex Bear on the outside. The 2 Red Bull livery cars battling it out. And how about Alex Bear about to throw it on the inside and gets a little bit loose there out of the corner. Could have been a contact from Annex. However, around the outside here from Bourbon, side by side with Annex, they do touch. Bourbon ahead of Annex. So Annex has to concede the place, and now it is 3 Red Bull livery cars ahead of Annex. And I believe if you can include the front of the field, it's 4 Red Bull livery cars. However, it's this train that has 3 cars in front of them. So very interesting stuff right there. In the background, you can see down the inside. Oh, the 2 touch. Mythic and Valkyrie. Mythic ahead of Valkyrie. Valkyrie is the inside line for the next corner. Trying to hang this around. Trying to keep the place. They do bang wheels. Wheel to wheel again here. Into Sector 2 coming up. And now it is Mythic ahead. Nice little battle right there. And Alex Bear now in the back of Scyther, continuing to put some pressure there and under very much pursuit right there for the position. A little bit of struggle right there. Titans lost out to Scyther and out to Beatnik, and now he's got Scyther there for company. How about Bourbon trying to hook one on the inside of Alex Bear? Very, very crucial points on offer for Bourbon. Needs to get so in the sprint race. Also needs to not lose out too much to Beatnik, who is gaining on him as well with this race lead. And here we go. The train is kind of having a little bit of a concertina effect. You could see it happening right here where they just all slowed up. They actually lost time to Titan right here. They gain it back in the corners. He's losing time to Beatnik. But now what it causes is cars in the train to continue to battle. And Annex, speaking of that, battling not to get a penalty. He's got a penalty now. Wavy with a penalty. So 2 drivers in the same corner within the penalty box. And side by side right here, Bourbon ahead of Alex Bear. And now Alex Bear under much intense threat from Annex. Annex does have the penalty though, so he's got to be careful. Scyther as well. Gaining on the Hamilton straight there. A little bit of go. Trying to get DRS from Titan to have it down the straight and put some pressure on him. Titan doing a good job for now to keep the podium place. Titan finished top 10 of the points last season. Has not had a good season thus far. But he's trying to put the critics to the drain. Everyone remaining in DRS, everyone remaining single file. It looks to stay that way. You got Jordan and FBL at the back of the grid in a little battle here. Everyone else in the field is still in this race. Everyone in the field, in fact, still within 15 seconds. And really, all of them have a chance to finish in the points this race. Yes, I'm also saying Wavy does too, with the penalty outside the points. Remember, the top 8 get points. Well, BK Beatnik is really having it his way. You talk about first letter to last letter of his name, B to K. And Beatnik is in the race lead and having it his way. Well, Bourbon also wants it his way, trying to go around the outside of Scyther. We got yellow flags to the back of the field. That is Wavy Knife, who has binned it and is off. Something's happened to him, but we continue to watch this battle. Scyther and Bourbon. Scyther and Bourbon both have won multiple races in F2 in this game. Now have caught up to Titan, and they are under immense pressure. Side by side, Scyther had to back out, and at the final corner, Bourbon is ahead. So very nice battling there. And you can just see, again, the concertina effect, because they're just having to check up with Titan being a little bit slower on the straight there. And now, Bourbon around the outside. Titan gives him a squeeze. Wavy into the pit lane, gonna retire from this race, it looks like. He does just that, and Bourbon, game of inches there ahead of Titan. Fair play right there from Bourbon. Needed to place God to the podium, and they continue to battle it out here. 5 cars under a blanket. Now Titan, who does not have DRS, has Scyther for pressure. Scyther on the outside, can't get the move done on Titan. Titan remains in P3, and now Scyther under pressure from Alex Bear. Alex Bear on the outside, can't get the overtake done, and now Alex Bear gonna have to find other ways to get around Scyther. Everyone, one by one, follows one another, and it all stays that way for now. However, Alex Bear wants to have his chance at Scyther right here. Can't do it. Valkyrie, last points runner, has a penalty. So Wavy, after binning it, retires in the pit lane, calling it quits. But it is all happening behind your race leader, Beatnik. I guess a little bit of good luck he got after yesterday with commentating Tier 2. A little bit of good luck with not having Goggy here after his collision in Portimao with Beatnik. Yellow flags on the street, that is Zakaria. And you have Annex on the back of Alex Bear. A little bit of struggles there in front from Scyther. You can see the rear stepping out from him while following Titan in the turbulent air. And now it all is happening behind Bourbon because Bourbon is almost out of DRS. However, Titan's kind of remain in that gap, and if Titan can hold on, Titan would see his first podium since Spain last season, and that happened, I believe, 12 races ago. No, round 6 last season, so it's actually a season ago from this race, and that race last season, it was 9 seasons prior that he last had a podium in RPL F2. Why am I hyping it up? Well, Titan is not one of the fastest drivers. He's actually probably one of the slowest drivers in F2, in fact, and I say that in the most respectful manner. He's able usually to take care of his car, to his credit. However, he never can excel to the point where he gets those podiums. He had the one chance in Spain last season, led the race. He's been in the top 3 for most of this race. However, the question is, can he hang on? He's falling out of DRS from Bourbon. And now Bourbon is now chasing down Beatnik with a big gap coming down. And now, here's a big gap also coming down for P3. Scyther and Titan, the 2 teammates from last season at one point, can't get through. They all stay single file once again. Alex Barrow, 3-second time penalty, and you can see a little bit of close action from Scyther. He runs off the road in the background. They're about to go 3 wide down the Hamilton straight. 3 wide as they enter turn 1. Mythic on the inside line gets the pair of them. And now Annex and Alex Bear go side by side here. And in front of that, here we go, Scyther again on Titan, trying to get by. And he's going to try the outside line, going to try to cut back to the inside line. However, Titan protects, and they're both around. They're both into the barrier, and their chances for a podium have just come dashing down. Titan protected the inside line. Scyther went for it, but was it too late from either of them? This promotes Jordan now to P7, and Alex Bear with another penalty in P5. So Jordan going to take out, I think, on P6 here with the penalties. Look at Beatnik. Look at Beatnik under the pressure from Bourbon. Bourbon has really put that gap down to almost a second here. And now Mythic takes the podium place. Mythic already this season has 1 podium, and it's the only one he got earlier this season, trying to add another one to his name. Gap for the lead. It's almost under second, and now it is. However, did he get it before the detection point? I don't think so. He did not. And Bourbon can't get close enough just yet. Here we go. Once again, the race lead close. DRS now that time on that straight for Bourbon. He is close enough to overtake him. However, the overtake that's going to happen right here could be Annex for the podium with Mythic. They're trying to extend that gap to not make sure they get under threat from the drivers behind who do not have a penalty. And now we're about to reach the final lap of this race. Penultimate lap done, final lap underway. Beatnik leads Bourbon, and he's just waiting one more lap to the line to hold on to this race victory. However, Bourbon, from 3 seconds back, has closed the gap on Beatnik. He's found tons of pace on Beatnik. However, is he able to throw him down the inside? And if they do collide, can Mythic take advantage? Bourbon has closed the gap. Bourbon has out-traction Beatnik here, and Mythic gets through an Annex. However, the race lead under threat once again. Beatnik trying to protect Bourbon there as well, with the DRS through wing open around the outside. Side by side. Can Bourbon go around the outside and take the lead? Beatnik is still trying to take the place back, and he can't. Bourbon to the race lead, and he is on pursuit to win his third race of the season, the first driver to do so. Mythic now is P3. Also, Jordan and Scyther is a big battle there. That's for the final point spot, and they might be able to gain on Alex Bear if they just stay within 6 seconds. However, Beatnik has one more opportunity at this to gain back the race lead. You can see Bourbon struggling there through Maggots and Beckett's, and Annex picking up another penalty. However, Beatnik's going to have the rear wing open one more time. I don't think it's enough, though. He's gaining on the straight, but it's not enough to overtake him. Behind that, Mythic and Annex continue to battle for the podium, but Beatnik is closing, and it's just not enough. Annex is through on Mythic. Beatnik locks up there into the final chicane. Bourbon gained down that gap and is going to take victory for the third time this season in F2. He is the first winner under the F2 2023 era of cars. Bourbon does it for the third time this season. And fighting the line, Mythic and Annex. Mythic is ahead of Annex. Valkyrie ahead of Alex Bear on the penalties. And Jordan and Scyther both come together and both spin at the line simultaneously. And that's the end of your sprint race. Unfortunate for Titan as well, who could not hang on for points or a podium. Here we go. Here's your podium celebration from your race victor, Bourbon. And now they're going to spray the champagne. Trophy's been handed to Bourbon. Bourbon comes out on top. And now it's time for the feature race with pit stops. and 10 drivers get awarded points. Here is your points add up, and here is your sprint race results. All right, here we go. It is time for the feature race. Pit stops underway. When the drivers do need it, we'll just find out how that goes. Just waiting on the 5 red lights here. Now just waiting on the lights to come on, and we will have a race on our hands. Thank you to the one other viewer watching as well, the stream for F2. We do appreciate it. F2 really doesn't get the attention the other tiers do, but that is okay. All right, here we go. Here come the lights. They are coming on. The 5 red lights. It's go, go, go. The feature race is underway. Bourbon and Annex. Gonna be wheel to wheel at turn 1. However, Bourbon on the outside line is gonna be ahead of Annex, and they're crashing at the back. Wavy, Beatnik, crucially. FPL is, I believe, collected in it as well, but we go back to the front runners. Scyther on the inside of Jordan. There was contact there. And now there's more contact, but Jordan's ahead. And now they all go single file, and now they get in the slipstream and try to find a way past one another. Here is Annex and Jordan, and now yellow flags the back of the field. That's Wavy once again in trouble. Jordan ahead of Annex. Now Scyther there to put his car in place and battle it out. You also have Scyther around the outside trying to keep this. They're going to remain wheel to wheel. 3 cars under just a matter of 2 tenths right here for position. Cops corner, Jordan's ahead. Wavy gets a penalty right there as well. Scyther the only runner on soft tires 2. And now side by side in a Maggots of Beckett's. It just won't work. They do go single file to make it work. However, Scyther on Jordan goes through. Miraculous stuff right there. Mythic on Alex Bear is ahead. And look at these guys. 5th on back. A 5-car train. Yellow flag sets Wavy once again. Wavy in more trouble. And now Jordan issues himself. And Jordan, Annex. Oh, they come together. Jordan and Mythic. And Mythic throws one down the inside. Jordan gets pushed to the curb. And now Jordan pushes back at him. Whoa. And through Alex Bear. Had his car there. Couldn't go through. Alex Bear now wants us to be a part of his battle. More yellow flags as Wavy out of this race in the pit lane. You got Valkyrie and Zakaria now battling it out. Valkyrie backs out of that one. Didn't want to cause any issues, it looked like. Got Beatnik as well behind her. Trying to get 9th place right here. In front of that, more battling. Alex Bear, Mythic, Jordan, the DRS train. And Bourbon looks to win back-to-back. Right now in the lead. Let's see who gains spots here in lap 1. And now the DRS train has gone from 4th all the way to 10th, so a lot happening in this race at this moment to change the outcome of the results. The lead under threat too. Scyther on the softs, gain that gap down, is quite a bit closer. Not close enough, though. And Zakaria was under much threat from Titan there at Cop's corner. It was not enough, though. Up in front of that, Jordan and Mythic now. Retrade the spots. Mythic trying to get back through. Can't do so. Now around the outside. He had a look. Didn't do it. Titan had a look down the inside there of Zakaria. Valkyrie and Beatnik also were duking it out. And now back to the lead. Bourbon on. Much threat with Scyther behind. Zakaria as well has left the session. We'll get him back in here. I think his internet went out because I don't see him online. I don't see him at all. Huh. Now Bourbon having to defend from Scyther once again. Behind that, Jordan and Mythic now for P4 and P5. Whoa! They almost came together. Jordan and Mythic. Jordan inside line there. Hops over the curb. Gets a little tap from Alex Bear. Alex Bear says, hurry it up. And now, Mythic safely ahead for right now. And behind that, Jordan Alex Bear, 5th place. Side by side right here for P5. And Alex Bear and Jordan, again, just going at it right here. You thought they were going to maybe go side by side there at Maggots and Beckett's, but they just didn't. And in front of that for the lead, Bourbon behind Scyther now. And we wait to wonder, when do the drivers head to the pits for their pit stop? Whoa, Jordan, I guess, gave Alex Bear a dummy, but he actually pushed him off. Beanick is also battling Valkyrie. FBL with Zakaria, who joined back to session. Zakaria could potentially be getting some points there, being in P10. And still everything remaining the way it is for F2 in the lead. Oh, and now the lead. This gets close. Bourbon has actually gained that gap back on Scyther. Looks like the hards are coming into play. This battle again, 4 cars under a blanket, still continues. It's Jordan ahead of Alex Bear, then Valkyrie, Beatnik. Nice little accordion here for the spot. Titan has a penalty. He's behind this little battle. And contact! There he goes! Alex Bear is off. Titan with another 3-second time penalty to his name. More battling between these three once again. It's Valkyrie now making the look down the inside and goes through. Alex Baer, 3-second time penalty. Jordan, 5-second for speeding in the pit lane. An FPL with penalties. So we are seeing the mandatory pit stops come into play now. Beatnik onto the softs, Jordan onto the softs was always going to happen. Now we see if the hard runners do choose to extend it. And let's see. Long time in the pit lane. You spend here over 20 seconds. Very much, almost 30, I would say. Got Alex Baer and Zakaria. We got the two who came out of the pit lane. Beatnik and Jordan battling. Jordan inside line for the next corner. Don't collide. They come close, and they just can't collide. Luckily. Yeah, don't collide. Oh, Beatnik off the track. Beatnik ahead. Did he overtake off track, though? And this gets tight between Zakaria and Alex Baer. Pitting in front of that is Valkyrie and Mythic. Whoa! Zakaria and Valkyrie, or sorry, Zakaria and Alex Baer, excuse me, look like they're about to come to collision here. Inside line Zakaria has outside for Alex Baer. That gets tight, very hairy. Alex Baer ahead. And where do these guys come out of the pit lane? Beatnik had a Jordan. Jordan inside line. Whoa, that was close. So it looks like Beatnik is behind Mythic, but they are ahead of Valkyrie here. More yellow flags out as Jordan around this time. Something there happened at the back of the field. Scyther now pits in the softs. Scyther will go to the hards. So I probably expected him to pit a little earlier, but Borbin will have the upper edge when it comes to the exit of the pit lane with better tires and being able to heat them up a little bit better. Hards take a little bit to heat up, obviously, and Titan is in. And Jordan now picks up a penalty. Yellow flags. Jordan around. Beatnik now at the fastest lap, so he's going a bit fast. And picked at the pace. Titan as well. Come out of the pit lane behind his teammate, excuse me. And Jordan is out in the pit lane. Now we look to when Borbin will pit and what the gap will be. Bourbon exits Stowe and is now in the pit lane. Do not speed. That is the one thing he does not need to do. Make sure he locks it up. This pit lane is extremely slower than the other ones, and still second through fifth, you have to pit in this race. However, Scyther has caught the back of the strain. He does not have DRS. He might get hindered by it, but this is a round where Bourbon should be coming out. So how powerful was this undercut from Scyther? We will find out now. Bourbon comes out of the pit lane now. We will look for him. And where is he in terms of this race with Scyther? Comes out of the pit lane. I'm going to pause the game. And he is ahead of Scyther. And on fresher tires. To his benefit. Also pitting there, Alex Bear, Zakaria. So everyone's made a pit stop except for FBL and Annex. Valkyrie and Beatnik, a battle for P6 here. And Annex is finally in. Annex is heading to the pit lane and makes the mandatory pit stop there. Valkyrie with a DRS of Beatnik. Zakaria and DRS of Alex Bear. Zakaria just wanted to finish this race and be in the points, I think. And Valkyrie as well has had an okay race. Not the best ones, but is behind a driver who has taken out at the start of Beatnik. FBL also pits. FBL is the only other driver yet to pit in this race. And you can now see the gap Bourbon has pulled out on Scyther. It's an extreme gap. Valkyrie now at the fastest lap. So everyone on those soft tires doing extremely well in terms of setting the pace. And setting their sights on the second half. And now Annex ahead of Beatnik and Valkyrie for the position here for P4. And FBL comes out of the pit lane last. So he's going to have to hope for some sort of miracle to get this back. And now here comes Valkyrie with Beatnik. Beatnik inside line. Beatnik goes through and is ahead. And now we'll set his sights on Annex. However, Valkyrie doesn't want that to be the case. Valkyrie wants to give some more at this. They bang wheels right there. Wheel to wheel here into Cop's corner. Valkyrie ahead. Beatnik tried to switch back, but ran in the back of her while that happened. Don't think he got any damage, but he should be okay in terms of that. You know, Wavy's DNF. He's a part of High Tech. High Tech have DNF the last 5 events. And in fact, last week they were the only team not to score points. We'll keep going over some stats with the lack of battling we have on the track. We do have DRS now with some battles now, but not like we had before. So, FBL continues his consecutive start streak this week. He'll be in the points if he just finishes the race, it looks like. Bourbon only missed Singapore. Ads misses this week. Funny how that works. And now around the outside, Zakaria with Alex Bear almost come together. Side by side here. Whoa! They're in the grass, and Zakaria comes back on. Side by side, and Alex Bear gives him the squeeze. Luckily, they keep it clean for the most part. Nothing as well. I don't think the Virtuosi drivers are here. Virtuosi's last in the constructors. Nope, I don't think there's... Nope, there's no Virtuosi here at all. Annex and Mythic now for the last podium spot. Annex and Fresher Softs trying to go around the outside. They're both also trying to catch Scyther, so it might be these two as well on the podium, but in different places. If not, if they can't catch Scyther, it's the battle for the last podium. Could also be the battle to catch Scyther. However, for now, Annex is ahead. And now they go side by side toward Cup's corner. Annex has the place. Good thing as well with Annex trying to catch Scyther, we have 3 teams with 1-2 finishes. You have MP, Carlin, and Prema on this game cycle. The only teams with 1-2 finishes. Bourbon's trying for his 4th win on this game cycle. Also, let me check wins all time. I think that's another thing that Bourbon's done really well on. Bourbon was 5th all time heading into this race, tied with Flynn, Matt GW, and Beatnik. Interesting. So now it would be his 17th win if he could just hold on. And Zakaria ahead of Alex Bear. Very crucial for the championship, by the way, that Bourbon does hold on to this race lead. And now Scyther and Annex. Scyther trying to hold on. Annex around the outside. Annex getting the squeeze right here. Scyther not giving him an inch and giving him the pinch. And Annex is ahead. And look at that gap for the race lead. It's a 10-second gap. And now here comes Mythic. Mythic wants his opportunity now at Scyther. Behind that, you have Alex Bear and Zakaria again battling it out. Zakaria, unlike yesterday, to be fair to him, is keeping it clean with the driver he's battling. He didn't do that with Gagi. But to be fair to Zakaria, Gagi is not racing today. He'll be back next week for F2. And now we start the final lap. Mythic trying to get the podium place over Scyther would make it 2 podiums in a row this weekend. It would be his only other 2 podiums besides his 1 race win. Scyther as well trying to hang on for a podium. Would be his 2nd of the season as well. Scyther has that win in Singapore, but needs this podium. Needs this podium if he wants to be a threat in the championship, Scyther. And now here he comes. Mythic on Scyther to the outside line. Right side for this corner. Could be the left side for the next corner. Here we go. Mythic with the switchback around the outside. Scyther again continues to put his car in the right direction and plants it in front of Mythic and keeps the place on those dying hard tires. Those hard tires are absolutely dying. And whoa, that gets close. We'll switch back to this battle in a moment. However, we switch to Bourbon, who's low on fuel, but has a big enough gap anyway. Bring out the broom for the weekend. He went to the max, and now he's got maximum points on the weekend. 2 wins in a row on the weekend, 4th win of the season, and his 17th all-time. Bourbon is looking strong by winning again in F2. Annex comes up 2nd. Scyther's going to hold on for the last podium over Mythic. And Mythic, whoa! Slides there at the final corner. Couldn't do it. He holds on for the last podium spot. We also switch to the Zakaria battle. Valkyrie 5th, Beatnik 6th, Titan 7th. Zakaria slides there at the final corner. And might lose 9th at this point. He's left the session. Oh. And there you have it. That is it for F2 today. Oh my. Well, Bourbon was 1 point back from ads, and now he's got a 40-point lead. Wow. I'm actually impressed with the way the race went. It's a matter of if it's half or full points, though, for Bourbon. That's what is important. Because if it is full points, he'd be 40 ahead. If it's half points, he's 20-some ahead. And here are the celebrations. Here is the results. Bourbon got maximum points. He did really push to the max. For this weekend, you call Verstappen. Alex Bear in his F2 debut didn't do too bad. Finished 8th in the feature race, and in the sprint race, he finished 6th. Fastest lap for Bourbon. Pole for Bourbon as well. Again, a final look at the results. Wow. Bourbon, the first driver to reach 4 wins this season, has 5 wins on the game cycle and continues to be extremely impressive. We switch it over next week for F2. Next week in F2, we are at... Does it say it on here? Doesn't say it on here. Huh. Let me go to my calendar. Let's check. Next week is Hungary. Hungary for F2. Belgium for Tier 2. And for F1 later today is Qatar. The debut of Qatar for RPL. Catch us then. And I will see you later. It'll be me and Owen on commentary. Good night, good evening, wherever you are. We'll see you then. Have a good one.